If you've got a Renegade, you've probably come to realize that, like other Jeeps, the headlights maybe don't provide the best night driving experience. A lot of Wrangler owners have solved that problem by upgrading to JW Speaker 7-inch round LED headlights. Just like earlier versions, the 8700 Evolution J2s offer bright, white, crisp LED light that blows away the stock headlights. Drivers are going to see better and be seen better. Two big factors when it comes to safety. So why not put Evolution J2 technology and performance to work for you and make that same upgrade on your Renegade? You can. But it's not the same 10-minute drop-in, plug-and-play solution like it is with Wranglers. The stock Renegade lights might have that same classic Jeep look, but there's a lot more to them. We're going to show you how to swap out the stock lights in your 2015 to 17 Renegade for the JW Speaker Evolution 2Rs. It's really not that hard. It's just going to require more time, a few more tools, and a bit more expertise than a Wrangler swap. Truth is, the Evolution 2R headlights are a drop-in plug-and-play replacement, just like the Wrangler lights. The challenge is getting to them. And if you're not comfortable with a wrench in your hand, leave the job to a pro. That's what we're going to do. We're taking our Renegade to our local dealer. Then we'll kick back and relax. In a little while, the Evolution 2Rs are going to be installed, and we'll have world-class lights that look awesome. So let's meet the mechanic that's going to do that install.
My name's Gage. I work at Russ Darrow. What we're going to be doing today is taking out these plain old stock headlamps in this Jeep Renegade here and putting in some sweet JW Speaker LED lights. What we're going to do is we're going to take off this whole front fascia here from here down, which is going to be kind of difficult because of this trim piece here on the side. After that, this headlamp has just got 3 bolts around it. It's going to pop right out. We'll throw the new ones in and it'll be good to go. First thing I did here was pop the hood so I could disconnect the battery. To do that, all you got to do here is just pop off this little tab here, give a little wiggle, and that battery should just come right disconnected. So what we're going to do next is we're going to pull these 4 T55s out first. Then we're going to pull these push pins as well. What this is going to do is this is going to release the top half of the fascia. Now I'm just going to pop out these push pins. These are pretty easy to do using a push pin remover. You can always use a pliers or a screwdriver. All you got to do is just pop out that centerpiece, and then it comes apart. Now I'm underneath the vehicle. This step you can do on the ground easily. I just got it up in the air so you guys can be able to see what I'm actually doing here. So just like on top, there's T30 bolts here. There's 6 of them. So just pop those out. While we're underneath here, there's 1 Phillips screw on each side here. So we're just gonna go ahead and pop those out right away. So now that I got it dropped down a little bit, there's 2 Phillips screws here. There's 2 more just like it on the other side, so we're gonna go ahead and take those out. All right, so now what we're gonna do, this is probably the trickiest part of this whole thing, is popping this off. All we're gonna do is just go up to about right here. There's gonna be 2 bolts right around here, this area, and you just gotta get it above this crease. All right, so as you can see here, I broke a couple of these push pins. Those are very easy to break. So you're gonna want a couple of those laying around. So talk to your local parts store and they can help you out. There's 4 bolts here. 2 of them are T25s and the other 2 are 7mm. The other side's exactly the same. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. Careful not to pry back too hard on this trim piece, otherwise you're going to break more tabs and you don't want to do that. Alright, so now that we have all those out, we're going to lower the vehicle all the way down and we're going to pop off the front fascia. Before we pull the fascia off, what we're going to do is remove the hood latch and position it out of the way. There's just 2 T25 screws in the back of it, so we're going to go ahead and pop those off. So now we're going to pull off the fascia. This part is pretty simple, but I like using somebody else just to help support the other side so I don't scratch my bumper. You're just going to pop it out. It's going to pop out pretty easy. Now that I have the fascia mostly off, there's 3 connectors. 2 going for this light and another one goes into the fog lamp. So now that we got the connectors free, we can just slide the grill off and we can set this out of the way. We're gonna start to remove the headlamp. To do that, there's 3 bolts. There's one here, here, and here. You're gonna want a smaller wrench for this one and a T30 due to the fact that there is a tight space to get in there to get one of the bolts out. So now that I got my bolts off, all I'm gonna do is take this connector right here. I'm just gonna pop that off. There's your headlight. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap over a part from the old headlight to the new one. The part we need to swap over is just a clip. It's this right here. So how you do that is just you're gonna pick up and pull. For the new one, just slide it on. Do the same with the other one. Now you're set for installation. So the really nice thing about the JW speaker headlight is that this connector is just gonna fit perfectly when you plug it in. You're gonna slide it in there carefully. You can start your bolts. So now that we got all of our bolts tight on the driver's side, passenger side does the same exact thing. After we get that one on, then we can throw the fascia back on and go from there. All right, so now that we got our headlights in, now we can put the fascia on. But before we do that, if you broke any clips in the removal, all you have to do is take it and slide it into the channel. All right, so the reason I like having a helper is because when you put this on, you don't want to stress the wires too much. So it just helps having somebody else on the other side holding it up. So now that you got your connectors on, all you're gonna do is pick it up and slide it over. And once you get it all lined up, all you gotta do is just tap those on. So after we get the fascia all lined up and snapped in, we're just gonna put our hood release back in there. So all we gotta do is just turn it a little bit and slide it in. Tighten them up, and you can move on to the next step. We're gonna throw in these top 4 bolts again and the push pins. I'm gonna throw the push pins in now. First, put the bottom in, and then you can snap the top in all the way down. Top part of the fascia is all put together. I got it up in the air again. I'm just gonna throw these back in. So once we get all those tight, all we're gonna do is snap that back in. Now I'm gonna put the 2 screws that I took out of the wheel well, and then from there we'll lift it up higher and get the bolts underneath. After you reconnect your battery, flip your lights on, and all that's left is the adjustment. Take a Phillips head screwdriver, adjust this bottom adjuster, and the rest of the instructions you can find on jwspeaker.com.
So a few more steps than a typical Wrangler install, but well worth it. If you put the Evolution 2Rs in your Renegade, you'll have a unique look that puts you a notch above everybody else. But more importantly, you'll see better in the dark, and you'll be safer, thanks to the technology and performance that goes into the best headlights in the world.